Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, the good news for now, no snow in the forecast, but plenty of scarves and mittens in this sea of orange at Empower Field at Mile High, just west of downtown Denver. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Draw Porker. Check. They go.
On 1st and 10, Jones. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now Callaway on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here. 1st and 10.
Here we go. 11. Switch.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On second down, it's Pollard. And some room to run now. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Tony Pollard with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsey. 17 carries, 57 yards. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Lindsey. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jones now off the play fake. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 26. Now Jones. Off play action. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Off the play fake. Jones. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Eric Ebron with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On second down now, Pollard. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now Balaj. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
And down to the 36-yard line here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
They'll run here with Balaj. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo, eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius able to record his 5th sack of the season. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
47 is the mic. 47 is the mic. Hey, defense. 11. Hey, check. Bravo. Check back 47. All day, punt.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. In for the score. And the Colts have taken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
70, Indy. 55, Mike. Blue Dan.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's got this down to the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
60 Pittsburgh. Any weapons?
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Philip Lindsey, his 9th touchdown of the season. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Colts coming out now.
Here we go, here we go. Check, 1-7.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A two-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll try the draw. Lindsey. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returnable here for Callaway. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The first update now out of Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
They run it with Balaj. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check. First down. 11. Check.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Todd Davis. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And now the throw hauled in by Green. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Completes it to Lee. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much since.
Pilot, 64. Ready.
Jones from the gun. He'll throw. Looks to throw. Fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the second quarter lead right now.
11. Hey, alert.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Let's go.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
We got double up. Check 12, fellas, here we go. Hey, Alpha.
On first down, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
11.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. He's going to fire this thing deep right, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
He's going to find Gallup here complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Here we go. 12. Jay, wahoo!
47's the mark, boy, 47. Check, 47. Come on.
21. Hey, orbit.
Mike, 47. Get him.
Garoppolo on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
65.
On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
I got you. Wait, let's go. 12, fellas, here we go.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
Here we go.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
21. Hey, Delta. Hey, let's go. 51's the mic. Here we go. Lock. 51.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Balaj. He chucks him aside.
Dumped him. And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On first down, Pollard. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Pollard again. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
The run for Pollard, and he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. On first down, Jones finding Green complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Jones. Lee's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run on first down. Lindsey. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Jones now on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lee. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Here we go. 50, plant. Come on, D.
Now Jones off the bootleg. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jeff Hireman, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Oh, my. You know that's one that he'll want to have back. I mean, they did everything right. Got the linebackers commit on the play action. He just flat out missed.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
This is Freeman. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Telvin Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On 1st down, Pollard. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here we go. March 47. March 47.
On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo over the middle, and it's incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. But now it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Hey, box truck. Hey, gun. Hey, go.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Three down. Hey, check.
Throwing again. Jones. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean,
the Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Tony Pollard, 79 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and they go, oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing Jones. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Darius Slay with a pick. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
He'll rifle it. He's got it at the 15. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Marquise Lee. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late. That they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now Pollard. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
One, Omaha. Check three.
They'll keep it on the ground. Pollard. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Garoppolo looking to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here we go. What do you need? He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Check 4. Shit. No. Hey, alert.
Mike 47.
Hey, alert. Hey, Zoo.
47's the mic, boy. 47.
Zoo draw quarter.
They'll run on 1st down. Pollard looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll keep it on the ground. Pollard. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Tony Pollard with his 3rd touchdown and 18th on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. From the 27, Jones. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Looking to throw. Jones. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. A nice pickup on 1st down, 7 yards.
Go there. 50. Plant. Get it. Go.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jones firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Colts, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.